That was so fun. Learned a lot, and we get to celebrate the industry. So thank you to all of our finalists and our winners. So now, please help me welcome up to stage a leading company in innovation, a dedicated partner to our industry, Micklin Company. They work tirelessly with retailers, their teammates, and uplifting our community. With that, Chris Smith. Chris, so I want you to tell this audience the story of, it's been about 3 years you've been with Micklin. Walk us through what led you here and how it's helped with innovation and partnership.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. And first, it's an absolute pleasure to be here today. Later this year, in December, marks 3 years for me at Micklin. I can tell you it's been one of the best decisions I've made in my life to join such a great team. But what brought me to Micklin was actually being on the other side of the supply chain. And I was a retail partner and customer of Micklin when I was Chief Supply Chain Officer at Walgreens. And I happened to be at Walgreens during a point in time during COVID when Walgreens was busier than ever before. We had more people coming into our stores getting shots in arms, and also at the same time, also trying to reduce their shopping frequency and reducing their time out of their home. So that meant they were looking for more products and services from Walgreens. And in my role of Chief Supply Chain Officer, it was really, really hard, like most other retailers at that time, to stay in stock. So I spent a lot of my time working with our supplier partners and service providers, including Micklin, to try to keep our Walgreens stores in shape that our customers expected. And it was during that time where Micklin really stood out as a partner that I could trust, where they didn't always have good news, but they were very transparent on what they could do, and we could have a really good strategic partnership on how we serviced our Walgreens stores. And ironically enough, when I was working for Walgreens, I was living in Central Texas. I was not living in Chicago, so I was actually commuting each week, every Sunday night, and coming home on Friday from Central Texas to Chicago. And during that time, meeting with these senior executives at Micklin, I started to think about Micklin more than just a strategic partner. I was 30 minutes away from Temple, Texas, so I made a reach out to our head of HR and LinkedIn and hit her up and just introduced myself, and I was fortunate enough 4 months later to be starting in my role of president of our retail division. And then before that, I think something else relevant, I was not in retail at all. I was actually in supply chain, but for pharmaceuticals. I was a chief supply chain officer at a company called McKesson, who at the time was the largest healthcare company in the world. And 1/3 of the nation's drugs went through my supply chain. So it was natural that I went from shipping hydrocodone to Snickers. That was not a natural transition, but something that we did. But I'll tell you one thing that I had brought to Micklin from my experience at McKesson was McKesson taught me about operational excellence, because our customers required us to not only be on time, because if I was late, I could delay a surgery, but if I did something wrong or mispicked something or did not do something to manage the efficiency and effectiveness of supply chain, I could kill somebody. And not to be dramatic, but that's what's on the table. So on our warehouse, it says it's a patient, not a package, to make sure that we understood the role of supply chain into for our customers. And that's something that we've tried to bring to Micklin as well, is making sure that each one of our service providers and customers that we deal with can get the best from Micklin, that you can rely on Micklin about bringing that operational excellence. And it's been a great 3 years so far.
Great story, and it's so welcoming to bring other industries into this industry. And as we know, Micklin's always working on innovation. What are you working on these days?
Yeah, so when you think about innovation, first start off, this year we're celebrating our 130th anniversary as a company. So a big milestone for the company. And as we've talked about today, there's been a lot of challenges with economics and turndowns and changing customer demands and what they want. Well, we've been around for 130 years and we have seen a lot and we've been through a lot. One of the things that we're really focused around is around operational excellence, as I've said. We're very focused around transformation and making investments in our business, from new warehouse management systems, order management systems, slotting systems, but also investing a lot in terms of removing friction from our business. We hear that a lot with customers. You know, how can we get more visibility into working together with you? How can we have easier ways of working? And we're making a lot of headway in that. And then we're also very focused around innovation. You know, it's beyond just center store that our customers are focused. That's important, will always remain, and we're very focused on that. But we've made a lot of innovation into the perimeter of our stores, focusing on new brands and capabilities like our fresh programs, actually hiring an ex-chef and teacher from Perdissimo that has come on board to help us innovate there. And we have new brands like Perdissimo, which is our pizza program, Capso, which is our beverage program, and very focused around fresh fruits, salads, and sandwiches that our customers are really needing at this time.
Well, it's a great segue because we're about to bring in C-Suites in the hot seat, which focuses on technology, innovation, and future visions for the industry.
You brought together a great roster of leaders, and I truly look forward to hearing what they have to say.
It's fantastic. Can you help us introduce the video?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at it.
Get ready for a high-octane session where C-suite executives take center stage. Join moderators Abbey Lewis and Derek Gaskins for a dynamic, rapid-fire Q&A discussion that will delve into the most pressing challenges, innovative strategies, and future visions of industry leaders. From mastering disruptions to fueling growth, these leaders will reveal their insights, lessons learned, and actionable recommendations. Please welcome our moderators. VP of Content Strategy for CSP, Abbey Lewis, and Chief Marketing Officer for Yesway, Derek Gaskins.
What's up, Abbey? Do something.
So this is a very special day. This is something new for me. This is Derek's first time as an interviewer on stage. Let's give him a hand. This is a big move for him. How do you feel?
Well, since I'm filling in for what Mitch and Steve used to do, I feel pretty good. As long as I'm a little more brief than Mitch, which shouldn't be that difficult. And then my shoe game is much better, so.
I think you got this. And honestly, I'm so thrilled to have you with me today. And I want to give a quick shout out to the journalists that I do get to work with on a day-to-day basis, here to provide you up-to-the-minute news with skill and with accuracy. And it's really all about elevating the industry. And I'm so excited to get to add Derek to our stable of journalists just for the day. Just for the day.
Just for the day? Are you sure?
Just for today. I can't promise anymore. And with that, I think we should probably get started. This is going to move fast, ladies and gentlemen.
Fast and furious.
Fast and furious. So with that, please welcome from GetGo, Terri Micklin.
Terri.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Let's just get right into it. I want to talk really quickly first about your loyalty program. It's very unique because it's integrated with your supermarket operations, correct?
It is. And, for me, it starts with loyalty is about that emotional connection with your customers. It's not a currency. So it really starts with why are your customers already loyal to you and your brand, and where have you met them at? So if you ask our customers today about Giant Eagle, they're going to tell you that it's the brand they grew up with, riding on the bottom of the shopping cart to get groceries. It's the place their family went to get every birthday cake, right? It has this great emotional connection already with the brand. So by bringing our family of brands together, we can make that true emotional connection through loyalty and really build that forward.
Oh, Terri, I love that. So obviously, the program itself kind of enhances the customer experience with those lifestyle benefits that we're talking about. What specific features of the loyalty program do you find that's most effective in driving the consumer engagement and retention?
I think the biggest part of it is it really has to be easy. It has to be embedded into something that your customer already does. So for example, I think someone said yesterday that you don't need to download like that 18th or 19th app on your phone. Not everyone wants that. So we're serving up loyalty right at the point of sale, right at checkout, every day. So the customer that comes in can see exactly how many points they've earned, what their options are for redemption, if they want to save it, if they want to stack it into another promotion. We're telling them right there, and we're making it really easy. So it's at point of sale and it's on their receipt every time. They don't ever have to open the app if they choose not to. Now, if they want to engage digitally, we're right there for them as well.
So that's incredibly sophisticated, but is there anything new on the horizon with this program?
I think the new pieces, one is we've introduced optionality. We're letting the customer tell us how they want to engage with loyalty rather than forcing it upon them. So if you're at the fuel court and you're filling up, you're going to get an option to save dollars off per your tank or cents off per gallon. And we're giving them a little bit of a highlight to say, if you get this many gallons, you can save more. So we're telling them how to optimize it. We're doing the same thing in the supermarket with dollars off or percent off total basket. So I think the optionality is the big new thing. What's coming right on top of that is personalization. We've already started with the app. We've launched all sorts of personalized offers straight to the app. We've begun getting into age-restricted products with some of our vendor partners, offering personalization through that, and really talking to the customer the way they want to be heard.
So how are you getting that customer feedback to continuously improve this product?
We are always listening. I mean, I think that's just part of the business. You need to engage with the customer. You need to listen to what you're telling them and continue to make sure that you're understanding those insights and you're delivering back to them the way they want to be reached.
So we're really leaning in heavily here to the technology questions because, again, your operation is very sophisticated. I want to talk quickly about those fully electronic shelf labels that you all hope to have implemented fully by the end of the year. What advantages do these offer in terms of operational efficiency?
I think the part about technology and electronic shelf labels I really love is the customer enjoys it but never sees it, right? It is seamlessly embedded already. So it takes all the friction out for your team members. They're not printing tags, they're not running down the aisles. Price changes are really easy. For a customer that's checking out, I guarantee you, you're hearing from them if the price on the shelf doesn't match the register, that completely goes away. So the customer really just sees it as something that's natural. They see the item, they see the price, they're able to get that at checkout. It really just flows through, but it allows that team member to spend more time interacting with the guest rather than doing administrative tasks. And then it allows you to really focus on highlighting your promotions better. If you want to get into dynamic pricing, it unlocks that. So if you're running a happy hour special already on your beverages, you can tie in promotional products with that at a reduced price during those hours. So it starts unlocking all of this great value that serves directly to the guest.
Have you had any initial feedback from guests or employees?
The team members love it.
It's a no-brainer.
Like, absolutely, it's a no-brainer. Said it takes about 18 seconds if they have an issue and they have to reset a price. So it's game-changing for them. It helps with things like the mobile orders. So if a third party's coming in to pick up, we can bring up an order and flash the items on the shelf so they don't have to go running around looking for them. We can pick them for them really quickly, or they can grab something themselves. So it really simplifies the process across the board from an operational perspective.
So I knew this was going to go by fast, but I want to make sure we talk about really quickly retail media networks. They're becoming increasingly important. We've talked about them a lot so far at Outlook. How is GetGo leveraging your own retail media network to create new revenue streams?
I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record. It is a monetization opportunity. There's dollars there, but it's about how do you talk to your customer? How do you make it part of their journey? How do you give them more value through the retail media network partnership? So it's just a different way of talking to them that enhances that customer experience. And what I really love about that is it's a different way for our vendor partners to utilize money that maybe they were putting towards traditional media that goes directly talking to the customers that they want to unlock value with. And we've done some really, really cool partnerships. We've done some work with Conagra and Slim Jim featuring LA Knight and WWE. It's a 360 experience. So we've got a meet and greet in the stores, we're unlocking it all through media networks, and we're talking to the customers that love that product. Did something really similar with ITG and Zone, NASCAR, Kyle Busch, with the car at the fuel court.
Oh,
customers coming out, being able to interact, and then we're delivering them all this fun content around the products through the retail network. So really great experience if you're using it to enhance your customer's journey, not just make money. The money will follow, but it starts with the customer every time.
Awesome. Terri, thank you so much.
Thank
That
you.
went fast. Derek, I'm going to kick it over to you now.
Thank you so much, Abby. Terri, great job. Loved it. GetGo's on my former brand, so still have a lot of passion for it. I am so happy to be joined by the great, legendary Stewart Spinks, one of my role models. So, Stewart, thank you for taking the stage and
My
joining the hot
goodness.
seat.
I appreciate being here. You don't know how much I appreciate still being here. So,
So, nice starting question, although you are on the hot seat. What are some of the core values and principles that have shaped your personal career and certainly with the founding and starting of Spinks?
well, Derek, it's it's hard to believe it has been. I've been in this business, petroleum business, 55 years. I've been in the C-store business, or something that I call the C-store business, for 50 years. So, the core values really, we have 6 core values, but let's hit on the top 3, and that is our associates, our customers, and our communities. So we have found a way to weave that together to where this year, as a matter of fact, it's our 2nd year that we were elected large employer with over 1,500 employees, best places to work in South Carolina. So weaving that together has been, for me anyway, amazing. That we've been able to do that, because it's important to be relevant in all 3 avenues, and sometimes it's the little things. Most of the time, it's the little things that make a big difference.
Love that. People being the core. So, looking back at your career, very short career at that.
Yes.
What are you most proud of?
I guess if I go back 55 years, 52 years, I founded the company 52 years ago. I was 26 years old, so I don't know what I was thinking at that point in time. But I can tell you that I saw what was happening in movement, believe it or not, from us cleaning windshields and pumping your gas and selling tires, batteries, and filters. That was the biggest disruption, I think, when we went from full service to self-service. That enabled us, and I could see it, I swear. I mean, and most of the industry, was invested in that way to go to market. I wasn't. So when I left, I had just converted a number. I worked for Shell Oil Company, wonderful company to start with. But the full service, that momentum had been building for over 50, 60 years. So I wasn't invested directly in that. All channels of distribution were invested in that, and warehousing of tires and batteries. So that was reacting and being able to. I didn't see it as a huge disruption. I just saw it with the customer when I converted a pump island to self-service in the 15 service stations I had responsibility for. I could see the reaction of the customer. And most people thought it was price, as usual. We've had a lot of discussion around prices and legal discussions around prices around here, from labels like Terry was talking about. But it was all about time. It was the customer wanted that time back. And that's been 50 years ago. So disruptions, there was a plethora of disruptions that have taken place, and we're in the midst of it now. It's just when it's right there in front of you, sometimes you have to run that hurdle. You have to get over it, around it, something. You have to get to that consumer and react. The best marketing research I've ever done, that was my major in school, by the way, marketing research and advertising. But honest to God, the practical experience of dialoguing with the consumer. Pay at the pump. Nobody in this industry, the convenience store industry, with any experience, wanted pay at the pump.
None of us.
Because we thought, or back then, the industry thought we could force the customer to come in and buy something. You got to win them on the front court, you got to win them on the back court.
Back court.
So as soon as I I'm a storyteller, so bear with me. My marketing research on that was a lady pumping her gas with 2 children in the car, and I go around and I'm saying, how do you like this pay at the pump? And she reached over and hugged my neck and said, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't have to get my kids out of the car, take them inside. Wow. I said, that's it. We're all in. Now, little did I know what it would cost me later on for processing fees. So we're working on that. But that was the type of marketing research that made a difference to me. And I could go on with other stories, but that's...
Well, we're running out of time, so I'm going to give one more big one, especially for some of the operators. I mean, clearly, for those of you who haven't heard it, this is a man of change, and he makes things happen. And, you've been able, I think, Stewart, the thing that stands out to me is that you can adapt to anything, and I think your marketing research studies that they're manifest because you know where the consumer's going and you're out front of it. So for the entrepreneurs and small business folks out here, what advice would you give them to start their business or to grow their business and those types of things?
Well, we've heard it. I mean, CSP does a great job of exposing us. And I mean, you guys, any of you that sat around me saw how I'm almost like, I take notes like crazy and I share it with our people. But it stimulates me. It stimulates that right-left brain that we've heard about this week in terms of trying to tie those two things together. What my team at Spinks does now better than I could ever do is process. In other words, once you settle in on something, pay at the pump, full self-service evolution I'm talking about, look, you got to go in that direction. And you got to react to the customer. I get cold chills. And then you got to react to your associates and the community, tying all that back together. And what really happens is you start to connect, and then I say to our people, I said, don't worry about it. We're not going to make any money on that right away. Don't worry about it. The consumer's happy. The smiles are on the faces of our associates and the consumer. So we're going to figure out a way to make money with it later. That's secondary. If it's primary, then you got the process. You got to reconcile. We heard that today too. There is that intersection of profitability and pleasing the customer and pleasing the associates. So all those things have to be reconciled.
Well, Stewart, thank you so much. You're a great man. I keep learning from you. I'm going to keep learning from you, so thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you.
Abbey, let me throw it back to you for you and Nate. Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Incredible. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Nate Brazier here as the president and CEO of Stinker Stores and Silver Medal Award winner in the Mystery Shop.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's a great accomplishment. So I want to talk really quickly. You recently took over as CEO, replacing Charlie Jones. How have the leadership changes at Stinker Stores influenced your strategic direction? And what kind of team are you building to support that vision?
Yeah, so first, for anybody in this room that knows Charlie Jones, he may not be big in stature, but he is bigger than life. And so I've got some big shoes to fill. And we together as a team have some big shoes to fill there. And the changes that we've been going through over the last 18 to 24 months on leadership levels across the company have been ones that help us to better align ourselves so that we can cross-collaborate amongst the various teams so that when we go out to execute, we can execute at a more precise level. It also allows us to change directions quickly when we need to. We got to be able to be nimble because sometimes you get to the line and you got to call an audible because Bruce Smith's coming on the end and you know he's coming and we don't want to get sacked, right?
Yeah.
So these changes, as we've made these over the last 18 to 24 months, allow us to be quicker because we've got to be quick, as we all know. Things change at a high rate of speed. So those have helped us to align with our purpose of making our world a better place and impacting our people first, impacting our customers and all of our communities.
Oh, incredible. So in the process of doing that, what are some of the key qualities that you are looking for in your leadership team to kind of help stinker stores drive forward in that way?
Absolutely. So number one, the most important quality is you got to have a certain level of craziness to be on the team.
What's that mean?
What does that mean? When I come up with crazy ideas, or anybody else on the team comes up with crazy ideas, we embrace it, and we jump in together. But more on a serious note, people focused. You hear a lot about that. A lot of people saying it, but people focused behaviors. Truly understanding our people that are on our team and how can we help them get to that next level in their career. What do they need in development? And sometimes that next level in their career may not be with Stinker. Of course, I want everybody to stay at Stinker. But if that next level in their career is somewhere else, we want to be a part of helping them get to that next level. The other part, I'll use two other words. One is moxie. Got to have a lot of moxie. That's a little edginess. That's who we are. That's our brand. So as leaders, we got to have that moxie, which don't mistake that with arrogancy. It's confidence with humbleness. And last but not least, got to have a lot of fun. We love to have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And so those are the types of people that we have on our teams, and that's who we'll be looking to going into the future.
So talking about that sense of fun, I can't get through this time without talking about Stinker Store's really significant brand revitalization. That includes store remodels, enhanced technologies, Pete's Eats. Why was this important to your overall strategy, and how are you communicating this refreshed brand to your customers?
Yeah, so 4 years ago, we got together and we decided, okay, who are we? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? And we quickly realized that, okay, we need to have a high quality food service program. And along with making that decision and going down that path, we thought, wait a minute, there's other elements of our brand that we've got to update. And so in 2021, we got a big group of the team members together, people from the stores, from our support teams, and we had a brand enhancement summit. And in that we asked, okay, what do you want the brand to look like? How do you want it to feel? What's important to you? And because we didn't want to lose the strength of the Stinker brand. It's been around since 1936, and it's a skunk. Nobody else has a skunk. But we wanted to utilize that and make sure that we maintain that. And so as we came out of that summit, we learned a lot from our people. We really wanted to listen to them because the brand, it's not just the logo. Yes, did we update our logo? Yes. Polecat Pete, that is our mascot. He'd gained some weight over the years, so we
the food is good.
The food's great, yeah. But no, we got him a personal trainer, a nutrition plan, sent him to the gym. He's slimmed up now, so he's more modern. He's able to run with us. But it's not just that. It's all the other elements that go into the brand. It was said before, it's an emotional connection. It's how we communicate. It's how we help one another. It's our culture. It's all of that. And so over the last 4 years, everything from investing in technology, imperative that we do that, to make it easier for our people to operate the stores, but also for our customers to come in and shop and get what they want, when they want, and how much they want of that. And look at our new stores. Part of that brand is we want to kind of like edge of the forest, because the skunk lives on the edge of the forest. So you walk into one of our stores and you've got metals and you've got rock and you've got just those types of things. I mean, we've got power lines above our cash wraps that remind you of going into somewhere that's on the edge of the forest. It's to create that feel so we can emotionally connect with our consumers. And who wouldn't want to work in a place like that either? No. I mean, that's a lot of fun. So there's a lot there.
That's so cool. We have a million more things we could talk about, but I'm going to kick it back to Derek.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nate. Thanks, Abby. Great stuff. Let's go from the edge of the forest. Let's go from the edge of the forest to around the globe. Happy to have on the hot seat with us today Lorraine Spadaro, Lorraine, if you wouldn't mind just telling us a bit about your background. I know you're new to, or relatively new to the industry, so we'd love to hear your origin story and some of the things you're working on.
Sure, definitely. So my name's Lorraine Spadaro. I'm the CIO for Global Partners. We're a vertically integrated energy company based in the Northeast, trading, supply, right to retail. We have about 320 company-owned stores. We have a joint venture, mostly from the top of the Northeast, Vermont, Maine, down to Virginia. Recently expanded into Houston with a joint venture with ExxonMobil. Super excited about that. So, and then we've got a very large sort of dealer and CA network. So probably almost another 1,000 sites. So I've been in the industry just a little over 2.5 years. I've told this story a few times, anyone else has heard it, but I came from sports and entertainment in the Boston area. I worked for the professional NHL team there, the Boston Bruins. And I think the one thing that I can take from my sort of long career in sports and entertainment is how important the customer experience is, literally from the moment you purchase that ticket to the moment you leave your driveway or get on the subway or the train to get to the venue to the moment you walk out. We journey map that entire experience and really try to understand every single customer touch point along the way. So I've brought a little bit of that discipline to Global Partners. It's a work in progress for us right now, but we've brought some team members in who are really sort of upping our game in the sort of strategic and digital marketing space. So I'm really excited about it.
That's fantastic. Certainly in the brief time that I've known you, I know your passion around customer experience really stands out. And I'm a marketer. I'm driven by that. Would love to know what customer experience initiatives are you working on personally or global, kind of more broadly working on that excites you?
Yeah, so definitely. I just touched on it a little bit. I mean, we all kind of have a limited set of tools that we work with in our industry, right? And we're trying to find new ways to bring some of the more sophisticated tools in. So we're, super excited. We'll be launching some new apps with new capabilities. It's already been discussed about the importance of being able to do in-app personalization. We're onboarding the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, their engagement tools, campaign management, much more sophisticated and much more, we'll really be able to finely tune those segmentations so we really understand understanding who our customers are, when they come to visit us, what motivates them, how often they come, so that we're speaking to them the way, and again, this is such an important message, but we're all saying the same thing, so that we're speaking to them and engaging with them the way we need to. And I would say measure, pull those levers and measure, right? We make decisions and we're like, let's try self-checkout. Let's do this. And let's put this over here. Now let's move it over here. And it all impacts customer experience, right? And I think that the importance of being a data-driven organization and really understanding as you make those adjustments, measure, and understand what success looks like.
Love that. I mean, part of me wants to build on that because from the aspect of, you being in the tech seat, me being in a marketing seat, all of us being here that is focused on innovation and seeing everything from AI to loyalty, personalization, self-checkout, all of these customer friction removing things. How do you prioritize that? Like, what advice would you give to some of the small operators here, or heck, even the large ones, to make that a priority in the boardroom or in the C-suite so that the companies will put the capital there?
I think if you're sitting in the tech seat, I think the important thing to do is really, there's a couple of things, right? You have to balance your day or your weeks or your months or years between really the importance of the vigilance around, keeping a steady state. Are we secure? We don't have any business impacting events going on in the tech space. But being innovative, being out there, looking at adjacent industries, looking at other customer experiences and saying, what can I bring to this conversation to really help disrupt or innovate, and then the business partnership. I think a lot of folks in our organizations have a lot of great ideas, but you can't do them all at once. So you sort of partner with those business leaders to say, what is the highest value return that we have? If I have 100 things on my list, but we can work on 10, unless you give me 100 more people, I think it's that level of partnership and transparency that's so important.
All right, well, I can't let you leave the stage without asking, Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, or Mario Lemieux?
Come on, Bobby is the original, right?
Good answer.
Come on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lorraine. Appreciate the insights
Thank you
that
for
you
having
shared.
me. And Derek does have an awesome shoe game. Who else is wearing their brand on their shoes tonight?
Good point.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. He did a great job, didn't he?
Hey,
I'm proud of you.
Am I hired? That's the question.
You got the job. You got the
All
job.
right.
Thank you all so very much.
Appreciate everyone. Thank you.